welcome to this media briefing. Perhaps for a start, we would like to know who is here. So we just want you to just give us your name and where your organizations are coming from. I'll start from there.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Jaja. Good morning,
Good morning, Beth here from Money Community. Good morning, my name is Alex.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anok Kasama from the
Good morning, my name is Alun Kamle TV.
Sharon Kalibura, Kambe TV. Precious Letumba, Twin TV.
The last one, guys, my name from Quick 24.
Elijah Chifita, Kamle TV.
Good morning, Nikona Kawanga here from President.
Good morning, my name is Lydia.
Good morning, my name is Nelson.
Okay, we've all introduced ourselves. Okay, thank you very much. I will now introduce the CEO who needs no introduction. So we have our CEO, Mr. Critical Shindano, who perhaps doesn't need much introduction. You all know this. And we also have our Director of Electoral Operations, Mr. Roy Katongo. We also have right on my immediate left, we have our Information Technology Director, Mr. Dylan Kasone. We also have our Social Media Officer, Mika Mwambazi. And, some are hiding. Okay, we have also our Human Resource Manager, Mr. P. He's seated right there. Then we have Mr. Musa Kamwa from our Finance Department. And we also have Mr. Dr. Mwale from Social Department. And my name is Sylvia Waya. I'm here. And now, ask the CEO to give his address.
Allow me to remove my mask, since at least all of you are quite distant. Morning, colleagues. Good to see you again. I said Media Electoral Commission of Gambia, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Commission, I wish to welcome you all to this briefing at the Electoral Allow me again to just start on the COVID note. Personally, I've not hope that you're all taking care and taking full responsibility in the prevention and transmission of COVID-19 by following the health guidelines. Emphasis should be placed on masking up and keeping healthy social distance. Even as we are gathered this morning, let us ensure that we are properly masked, of course sanitized. There are facilities that have been made available to do that, and ensure that we also spread the news to the general public about the importance of masking up and ensuring that we adhere to the COVID guidelines. Ladies and gentlemen, in the past few months, we have been updating you on the progress of the activities on our electoral roadmap. The Commission has so far made distinctive strides toward the achievement of various milestones in the electoral process. Currently, we are in the process of undertaking voter registration exercise, which will be followed by the inspection of the register of voters before the register is finally certified as a final register. So most of my brief today will focus on voter registration, and indeed I will also update you on a few of other pertinent issues. Allow me to start on voter registration. The Commission did set 19th October 2020 to 20th November 2020 as the dates within which to conduct mobile voter registration throughout the country. And this is in addition to pre-online as well as stationed registration at district centers. As part of preparations for voter registration, the Commission collaborates with the Department of National Registration, Passports and Citizens, which is basically under the Ministry of Home Affairs, on the issuance of NRCs, which is a prerequisite for voter registration, to ensure that eligible citizens have in their possessions NRCs to enable them to register. The Commission is happy to note that DNRPC has intensified the issuance of NRCs to citizens throughout the country, which will enable more eligible citizens to acquire the NRCs and to be able to register as voters. The Commission has also noted that DNRPC has extended the period of mobile issuance of the NRCs by 10 days, from 10 September 2020 to 19 September 2020, which I'm sure you are all privy to in the first phase, and the second phase will run for an additional 40 days from 20th September, implying that this process will be is expected to be concluded on 30th October 2020. To ensure that no one who has obtained an NRC is disenfranchised, the Commission has been prompted to reschedule the dates for the registration of voters. In this regard, the mobile voter registration exercise, let me emphasize that, the mobile voter registration exercise, which was scheduled to commence on 19th October 2020 to 20th November 2020, will now be conducted from 28th October 2020 to 30th November 2020. This is to accommodate eligible citizens who would have obtained their NRCs. So the end date for the mobile voter registration is just 2 days before, so the end date for the mobile registration for issuance of voter registration will now be 30th November 2020, whilst the commencement date is 28th October 2020, which is 2 days before the conclusion of the issuance of the mobile NRCs. So issuance of NRCs is expected to conclude on 30th October, whilst the voter registration exercise will commence on 28th of October. So that's 2 days before they do that. This, one might ask Why that is the case, it has no impact, as the deployment of our teams will be in the same jurisdiction, and therefore those that will be able to get the cards on 30th will still be able to be captured by the team that will be in that jurisdiction. This further puts pressure on the already tight election calendar that the Commission is working with, and is confident that the DNRPC will be able to conclude as scheduled. It should be noted, however, that should there be any further adjustment to the issuance of NRCs, the Commission will, however, not be able to adjust the start date again, due to the legally binding dates, especially the constitutionally enshrined dates for the general elections, which is 12th August in the case of the year 2021. And it's important that this is captured correctly. So for us, the start date now is fixed. If the issuance of NRCs for any other reason is protracted beyond what has been scheduled now, as a Commission, unfortunately, will not be able to push our start date any further than what has been pushed now. And of course, this is because of the legal constraints that we are working with as a Commission. However, in the event that the issuance of NRCs is further delayed, the Commission will have to synchronize with DNRPC in terms of our deployment plans, so that those who are issued with NRCs are also captured by the Commission and issued with the voter's card, so that nobody is differentiated regardless of whatever circumstances that may occur. So we'll have to synchronize our deployment plans. This is in the instance, unlikely instance, that there is a further extension on the part of DPNRC. In the same vein of voter registration, allow me to also talk about the pre-online registration. Let me hasten to state that the dates for the commencement of the online pre-registration exercise remain unchanged. The commencement for the online pre-registration exercise remain unchanged. The online pre-registration will still commence on 21st September, but as opposed to ending on 1st November, it will end on 6th November 2020. This implies that the pre-online voter registration exercise will run for a total period of 46 days. In the same vein, the Commission conducted the first phase of the beta testing for the online pre-registration platform from 18th July 2020 to 25th July 2020, as some of you may be aware. The second testing phase of the online pre-registration was done from 31st August 2020 to 7th September 2020. This was the final testing exercise, and this has since been closed. The purpose of this testing exercise was to get feedback from the users on the efficiency and effectiveness of the system. And I confidently confirm that this exercise was a success and constructive, and of which those recommendations have also been integrated in the final platform that will be used for the online pre-registration exercise, which commences on 21st September, which is this month, 21st September. I wish to reiterate that the online pre-registration is not an end-to-end process. I hope you know what I mean by that, and I'll explain further.
I wish to reiterate that online pre-registration is not an end-to-end process, and that all those who pre-register online will still be required to present themselves at the registration center to have their biometric data captured and issued with a voter's card. So an end-to-end system would imply that there will be no contact between us and the individual registering. But this is not the case. The pre-online voter registration allows you to provide your details in advance on the online platforms, and then you have to present yourself before a registration officer who will capture your details, the biometrics, and also issue you with a card, but also verify your identity as a citizen. Allow me also to reiterate, and this is also something that has had a lot of mixed interpretation, that all eligible Zambians that are eligible to vote must ensure that they turn up to register. This is irregardless of whether you have a card now, in terms of whether you're registered or not, in order for them to participate in the 2021 general election and indeed future elections. Again, please take this correctly. While the current registered voters, so all those that are registered will be retained. This is conditional. It is on condition that they present themselves for verification, update, and capture of additional required information, including the biometric system that will be introduced. That is the 10 fingerprints and your portrait, and indeed the issuance of the new voter's card. But further, as part of the process, the Commission will consider one who's registered deceased if they do not present themselves, as part of the process involves the removal of deceased persons from the register. And this has been communicated, I think, in all our briefings thus far. So that marks the end of the update on voter registration. Allow me to also talk about something very significant, which is result management. Conversion of streams to polling stations. The Commission has in the past shared its intention to turn streams into polling stations as part of the enhancement for result management and to generally quicken the voting process, counting, announcement and declaration of results. The Commission will now pilot the conversion of streams into polling stations in the forthcoming Mansawomwe and Lukasha parliamentary, which are scheduled for next week. This is 17 September 2021. This plan has already been communicated to the participating political parties in the 2 by-elections who have supported the idea and also committed to informing their respective political parties on the changes, especially the lower structures. The Commission will review the effectiveness of this pilot and share with the political parties and indeed the general public on the changes that will be put in place for the 2021 general election. The Commission is very confident that this will not only enhance the result management system, but also enhance and stakeholder confidence in the electoral process. This will further reduce the number of queries, as all information will be available. Colleagues in the media, allow me to speak to this. I think this is an extremely important change that the Commission is making, and I would urge you to follow it up in terms of what it means in our electoral process and the impact that it's going to have. We've had a number of complaints with regards to how results are managed in our country and indeed the electoral process. What this will bring aspect is that it's going to put to light everything that one needs to know at the polling station. So all the information with regards to one, first and foremost, registered voters, how many have turned up, and indeed how many have cast their vote, all this information will be available at the polling station. And each stream, as opposed to collecting the streams, where, for instance, like Unza, where you would have 16 streams, each stream will act as its own polling station. So there will be nothing like aggregation. So all the results will be known there and then from each stream. So each stream, once they are done, the returning officer will be able to close that, and each stream will also have its own famous Gen 20 form. So this is very, very important for you, the media, to really pick up, follow it through, interrogate the commission, interrogate the stakeholders on this aspect. It has the ability to significantly change the landscape of how we implement the electoral process in our country, especially as far as transparency and accountability is concerned. And this is something that, as a commission, we are committed to ensuring that we build. Allow me, as I conclude, to also mention something on the ongoing Mwansawomwe and Lukasha parliamentary constituency and 12 local government ward by-elections. As you may be aware, the Commission will be conducting the polls for the parliamentary by-elections for Lukasha and Mwansawomwe constituencies and 12 local government wards in various districts of the Copperbelt, Northwestern and Lusaka provinces on 17th September 2020. I'm pleased to inform you that, as per practice, the Commission met with the Zambia Police and the 7 political parties that are participating in these by-elections this Wednesday, 9th September 2020. Out of this, the political parties also pledged continued conduct of peaceful campaigns. The Commission, in this regard, would like to thank all the political parties for the harmonious relationships shown so far in the 2 by-election campaigns, as it has received no adverse reports of conflicts or violence. The Commission also wishes to thank the Police Command for putting in place